Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, once again, joined by our good friend George at Watford FC News. George, a lot has happened since we last spoke to you. The January transfer window has closed and we've had a change of manager. Ed Still is the new Watford head coach. In just a few words, summarise how you're feeling as a Watford fan at the moment.
Not well. I mean, you'd be lying to say that you've heard of him because, at first, when you read the article of Watford are signing Edward Still, brother of Will, you're like, you sure it's not Will and not
Yeah.
Edward? So it was quite confused because it came out of the blue. Because obviously the bookies were saying Will Still was favourite, so we were
Yes.
expecting him.
I mean, did you know Will had any brothers, George? I certainly didn't.
Apparently, as a third. I don't know
Yeah.
where he's
What's his
getting about.
name? What's his
Yeah,
name? I've got no
absolutely
idea.
not a clue. But yeah, going from him being favourite in the bookies to Edward coming out of the blue, and then the day after he's been appointed, quite a bizarre scenario to have had to see occur. I can't lie, I ain't got a clue what he's like. I mean, we've watched one game already with Preston. Second half was great, but at the minute it's still early days. So
Yeah. It's an interesting one, isn't it? I suppose he's spoken a lot in the past week or so about his background in video analytics, data. He's very heavy on data. Would you say Ed is the definition of kind of this new modern breed of manager we've seen coming through in recent years? Gone are the days, George, of your Allardyces, your Pearsons, your Hodgsons. They're gone. They're retired. They're in their footballing care homes now. Now we've got Russell Martin, Will Still, and of course his brother Ed Still now at Watford. So yeah, that's my long-winded way of saying, is Ed this new breed of manager that is coming into the game now?
I hope. I mean, I hope so. But we've been saying the same with previous English managers we've had in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
We were saying the same about Rob Edwards, and obviously that didn't really work out. It didn't last very long, but he's gone on. I wouldn't say he's gone on to do better things. He's kicking on bottom half of Premier League, fighting relegation, but that wasn't his fault. But it's a chance to see. He's very young. He hasn't had any player experience in his career. He's never been a player, so he's gone right in the deep end being a manager. Obviously, not the greatest record in Belgium at all.
No, not the greatest record. And of course, links, George, with our favourite Belgian agent, Moggy Bayat, as well. What did you think about that? As soon as I saw the name Charleroi linked with Ed Still, I thought, here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go again. But Bayo 2.0, except it's just someone younger in the manager's department. But bizarre, really bizarre. Makes me kind of think in the back of my head, have we really done our scouting on who's the next manager to get us promotion, seeing as that's their target? But I'd be happy with top half at this point now.
Okay. Well, we'll come on to that later, George, in terms of the playoff race. But just sticking with Ed for the time being, did you feel that his prior experience warranted this job? And what I mean by that is that if any other championship club fighting for the playoffs was to hire a manager, would they have gone for Ed Still? Or is it just because we're Watford that we've gone with him, and also his links with Moggy Bayat?
I think it's just another Watford moment. Completely moronic, to be fair, seeing as we're now manager 3. Wouldn't be surprised if we go to manager 4 by March, April.
Interesting.
But it'll be a case of just moronic decisions in the boardroom, and that's just a bog standard day at Watford, if we're completely honest with each other. Not much more we can really say on it because it's still early days, and
of course you wish him well for his role.
Honestly, like I've said it, I have said it. I wish him well, but it's a complete circus at London Colney. So,
and fair play to him for taking the job as well, because I'm sure you've listened and read to a lot of his interviews over the past week. It feels like he's done loads. He's been speaking to loads of different UK and foreign media outlets. I think he speaks very well, George. He articulates his points really well to the fans. Whether that will translate to what we see in the pitch, only time will tell. You did mention earlier, of course, the Preston game. The first half, I think we should forget about that. But the second 45 was a stark improvement. Are you a fan of this 4-2-3-1 that Ed has implemented? It seems like it's quite adaptable when it comes to player selection and his formations.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did try the 4-2. I could be wrong. I did think we tried it under Harry.
Yeah.
But he did rotate back to the 4-4-2, which inevitably just did not work. Is a formation I think fits the team well, but I don't think Kieran Guard should be that lone striker. I don't think he has the quality to do that. I think he needs to be working off someone. However, that second half was a lot better than the first. I think we just won't even explain that first half. That was diabolical. But basing off that second half, it was promising. We had a spark in the first 20 minutes where we scored two within about 4 minutes. And it showed real quality, showed that Quadro Bar is worth maybe even taking off the bench every game, maybe starting here and there. But I think a lot of people need to realise that maybe Quadro Bar is seen by these managers that we've had so far this season, as in 3 of them, are seeing Bar as a more impact sub.
Is that how you view him, George, as a fan, as an impact substitute?
I get the frustration as to why he's not starting, not getting the minutes he deserves, because he does deserve way more minutes than he's currently on. However, I would like to see him start like most of the fan base, but if the managers are seeing him more of an impact sub, which is completely understandable because of his raw pace, strength, and ability to just get in the box and get the ball in the mixer, if you want to call it, it's going to be one of those where we're going to have to get used to the fact that we're going to be seeing him at the hour mark or just after the second half starts. So it'll be interesting how he does implement Bar, Irankunda, Varta when he's back from injury. So it's interesting.
Why do you think Bar has been an impact sub under so many managers now? Is it an attitude problem? Is it application in training? What do you think it is, of course, behind the scenes potentially that could be causing this issue? Maybe even fitness potentially.
I mean, I don't like talking. I mean, I know I do like my slandering with most players in the past. And a lot of people have made that public to me saying you need to shut up sometimes, which is fair enough. However, it could be an attitude problem. I mean, Edward has mentioned in the last week that there's been attitude problems. He's been saying to him, we're not going to stand by that.
So what did you make of that? Like him coming out quite publicly and saying there was, quite a lot of moaning in his early training sessions. That was really eye-opening.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I wouldn't say we've got egos, but I think we've got players that are just frustrated at maybe game time and they're just throwing strops, or they're probably throwing strops at the work rate in training with the 3 different. Like, I'm sure there's 3 different managers that we've had that with 3 completely different training styles, and they're probably fed up. Which, not an excuse, but as long as Edward can keep their heads straight and not start doing random stuff behind the scenes, I think we'll be okay. But going back to what you said with why Bar might be seen as the impacts, it could be an attitude problem. It wouldn't surprise me as much as I don't like saying that, because I like Bar a lot.
Emmanuel Dennis was branded with that tag, wasn't he, when he was at the club? And we never saw any evidence of that as fans. So it is hard to pinpoint exactly what it is. I don't want to put you on the spot too much here.
Yeah, it's hard. It's always hard to talk about with player attitudes because we only see them for once a week for 90 minutes. So we're all really depending on their attitude on the day rather than what we're seeing on the media team side where they're filming training. Like, we're only seeing very short parts of the week. So it's random how the manager's seeing him, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
I do like, by the way, how you're calling Ed by his full name, Edward. I think that's very good of you, George. So yeah, there we go.
I make it a little bit easier, but I can call him Ed, but it just doesn't flow well.
He has been brought in, though, George, to do one job, and that is to get Watford as close to them player positions as he possibly can. And I've got to say, looking at the table in front of me now, I find it astonishing how many teams are in the running. I would say from about 16th place, with Swansea on 42 points to Derby on 48 points in 6th. You've got 10 teams there, George, really competing for one position.
Yeah.
Can Watford do it? That is the question I'm asking you today. It's a big question, but given what you've seen so far this season under 3 separate managers, 4 if you include Charlie Daniels, does this squad have the ability and depth to get there come May?
I was listening to BBC Three Counties, I think. Was it Hull City that we had midweek?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to, because I was at work listening to them. I think it was Jeff Doyle that mentioned the quality of players that you can bring in who do the job, the dirty work. I think how they explain it. So you've got your, let's say for Watford reference, we've got your Troy Deeney's, you've got your Matthew Connolly's, like the really niche one, the niche players that you bring in who know the league, know the promotion, what it takes. I think we're lacking that. I think we're lacking the players where they have the experience of being promoted to the Premier League in the Championship. They're lacking the physicality, the what's the word I'm looking for? The attitude, the work rate of the league. Because
like a Ben Watson, George, maybe as
like
well as
someone that will just get down and dirty and do the dirty work for the player, the showboat players. Like I think we're missing 1 or 2 just leaders, because it's. I wouldn't say I like Emre Loser as a player, but I don't think he's a leader.
So would you say Loser, of course, is now the captain of the club now Sissoko has left. Would you say he leads by his talent rather than him being a vocal presence on the pitch?
I wouldn't say he's a leader by example.
Okay.
Talent, yes. Albeit he hasn't really shown it in recent weeks. I've seen a lot of people not really pleased with the way he's playing, which is completely fair enough, a fair judgment. But we really are lacking an experienced, not a veteran, but just an experienced player of this league, because it's just not working. We've got
I think Matty Pollock longer term could be that for us because he is very vocal.
I was going to get onto that. I just didn't know how to say it, but yeah, I think probably the next 3 years he would be that player we'll look at and go, that is somebody we can not. Of course, hasn't got the promotion experience because I don't think we're going to be promoted the next 3 years. However, he's been in the English Football League for donkeys now, for the last like 6 years. So he's got the experience in League One. He's got the experience in the Championship. It's just a matter of time before he can have the experience of the promotion if we get there. It's just,
and arguably, George, as some people have said, your doppelganger, Matty Pollock, potentially.
I'm not saying it, I'll be honest.
Let us know in the comments if you think George is akin to Matty. But yeah, I'm looking at the teams above us. Birmingham, Southampton, Bristol, Preston, Wrexham are in there as well. I think we can do it. I really do think we can do it. And we showed over Christmas, George, that we are capable as a group of winning 3, 4, maybe even 5 games in a row if everyone is on top form. And with the introduction of Pierre Ekwa, who we signed in January, Eduardo Bove coming back to fitness, and Iran Kunda coming back from suspension, there's a lot of firepower there for us. When you look at our fixtures ahead, Derby and Ipswich to come, they're both sides in that mix. Would you say it is now make or break for our run? So if we fail to maybe, let's say, get 4 points from the next 2 in Derby and Ipswich, would you say we're pretty much done in the race for the top 6? Or are you still going to hold out hope whilst it's mathematically possible?
I mean, it's the hope that kills you, I suppose. I mean, I think, me personally, I'm not expecting the promotion anymore, or even a playoff spot. It'd be great. It'll be a nice feeling to have if we do get there and end up at Wembley in May. But looking at our next couple of games, it's tough. We've got Ipswich looking for playoffs, Derby in and around the playoffs, Bristol City, they're always in and around it, and I feel like they are quite our bogey team, and especially when it's away, seeing as we lost 5-1 there not too long ago. Wrexham on form in 6th, shockingly. The most Watford thing ever will probably be losing to Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, God. You know what? that home game at Vicarage Road earlier this season, I don't know if you were there, George, but it was just a disaster class of a day. And to culminate the game off, afterwards, we got evacuated out of the Graham Taylor stand because there was like a gas leak as well. So it was a midweek. I had the flu. I was under the weather, and Vivaldo Semedo rescued a late point for us. So
He
yeah,
has
that
the
was
audacity to solo celebrate. It's like, get the ball back,
yeah.
just move on. That was a bad evening. It'll be in. I think if we can get a result in the next two, they're both at home. Got the advantage of we've got the home advantage. I'd be happy with 4 points from the next two.
I think 4 points keeps us in the mix, doesn't it? So
100%. We're still don't get me wrong, we're still in and around it. We may not be playing like we're still in and around it, but we have a chance if we take it.
yeah, I'm with you on that. And just talking on the playoffs as well, there was a news story in the past few days about a change that could be made to the championship next season. I believe the clubs involved in the league are voting on it very soon. And that is that the championship playoffs could contain 6 teams for the first time next season. So, of course, it would remain as the top 2 getting automatic promotion back to the Premier League. That is not going to alter at all. But 7th and 8th place will now qualify for a new style championship playoffs. And it would mirror the format, George, that is currently used in the National League. And it would mean the teams finishing in 3rd and 4th would automatically move through to a semi-final, as they would do today. But there would now be a quarter final round, and that would feature one-legged ties between 5th and 8th place and 6th and 7th place teams. And then the tie is held at the side who finish higher in the league. So, of course, 6th would then host 7th, 5th would host 8th. So, what's your take on that? Of course, it would mean a bigger chance for Watford to reach Premier League glory. But again, it feels like to me a way for the EFL just to make a bit more money on their televised games. Is that a good thing for you or a bad thing for the game? It could encourage more owners to get their clubs into a bit of financial trouble.
I think it's a bit unneeded. If you think of it this way, you could finish 8th and you could get into the Premier League. I think National League, it works. It gives very unstable financial clubs a chance to get more money in the new season. But I think for our level, completely unneeded. Probably just another money maker for more games. And they play 46, 48 maximum. And I think it's just too many at that point. So me personally, I don't think it should happen. But again, it's all down to what the clubs think. And it could be a 50-50 split, I'll be real.
But if Watford went up through the new system, George, I'm sure you wouldn't be complaining too much about it.
I mean, I don't think anyone would be complaining.
No.
However, I think from a neutral, well, not a neutral point of standard, but when you're in that league, it's like it's not needed. I think 1st to 6th is the right, like you got the 6 best teams in one league. I think anything more is a bit ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you on that. And our next match, as we mentioned, is Derby County. They're in 6th position, managed by former Watford man John Eustace. And George, they've won 8 away games this season, which is an incredible record, you have to say. How are you feeling going into this one? As we said, I do feel we are in make or break territory now. They have a fantastic attacked Adjaman, Brereton Diaz, Sammy Schmodix, Rhian Brewster is in there as well. It sounds like Colton Morris might be back for this one at the weekend as well from his injury, which he sustained actually in
Yeah, I'll
the
say
first
that.
fixture.
Yeah.
So yeah, Derby County, John Eustace, George, what are you thinking about this one, my friend?
Very tough one. A very good team. Just not ideal that our last win in league was New Year's Day, and that was at home. We haven't won.
Were you at that game?
Nope,
Oh.
I was not. Yeah, it'll be it'll be interesting to see how we are set up. I would like to think we have a good 90 minutes and we don't turn up in the second half like we always do, or even the last 10 minutes. I'm hoping for a result. Like I said to you earlier on, I'm hoping for at least 4 points from the next two. That being a win over the weekend against Derby. So as tough as it might be, I hope the players will graft and we'll get I will say 2-1 win for us.
Yeah, I went 3-1 in my match preview. So both of us quite confident. And just on Ed Steele's last 11, is it something you would continue going into this game? Were you a fan of them 4 central defenders against Preston? We had Mfuni, our Manchester City loanee, shifted to left fullback. Mark Boller dropped to the bench. You had the 2 centre-backs of Pollock and Saba Goglachitse, our Georgian on loan from Udinese. And then James Abankwa was at right fullback due to Jeremy Ngakia's injury. I'm not sure how much you saw of that game, but it certainly didn't stop us conceding the first goal, having them 4 centre backs in there. So, yeah, what would you go with in this one, George? What's your quick 11?
I would go get Boda back in.
Yeah, agreed with that.
Ngakia back in. Selvik, of course. Pollock and Funi. That's our back. That's our defence. And then I'll go loser. I'm going to hate saying this. Kayembe.
Oh,
unfortunately, because it's going to happen. If it wasn't for Bove's introduction being so soon, I would have started him instead. And then I'll go Iran Kunda, Bar.
okay, so sorry, slow down. So
you see, the 2 DMs will be Kayembe, loser. And then we'll go on the left, we'll go Iran Bar.
And so Fadway Bar on the left-hand side?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I keep hearing that he prefers the left, so we'll go on the left.
Yeah, that's fair.
Chatwatazi down the middle, even though he hasn't been at his best for a while. And then we'll go Iran Kunda on the right, Kurangard up front. I would say Dumbia, but I know that Kurangard will be the starter for Edward, so we'll go with that.
Edward, good old Edward. I'll go Selvik in goal. I'm hoping Ngakia will be back, so I'll stick him in at right fullback. I'll go Pollock right centre back, Mfuni left centre back, and then like you bring Mark Boller back into the 11. My 2 deeper midfielders, if we're to stick with the 4-2-3-1, would be Papi Mendy alongside Imran Louza, Georgie in the 10.
I feel stupid now.
Yeah, well, you've said it now, George. You can't say it now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely drilled in the comments. Oh, God.
Yeah. So I'd go Papi Mendy alongside Imran, Georgie in the 10, Quadwo on the right because of the impact he made at Preston. I would keep Othmane Mama on the left. He took his goal really well. And then for me, I know you're stuck with Luca, but I'm a big Mamadou Doumbia fan. He's not the finished product. We all know that, but what you can't fault him for is his pressing from the front and his work effort. And I don't think Luca really has that at the moment. I've not been a fan of his body language and just the way he goes up for duels sometimes in recent weeks. So, yeah, what did you make of my 11? Is that superior to yours, would you say?
I'd much rather yours. If I stupidly remember that Papi Mendy exists, I would have gone for that instead of Kayembe. Mama as well. Probably I would swap out for Chatwatazi. I'd have that as a free. So yeah, I much prefer your lineup. I'm glad someone's talking sense.
All right, George, we'll leave it there. Thank you again for coming onto the channel. We really appreciate your time. Where can everyone find you on socials?
You can find me, as always, mainly on Instagram. That is where I am most active. Watford_FC News. I think it's there. A little bar there. You can also find me on Twitter. I don't really post as much. I'm not as frequent. I am on there. Again, same handle. But that is all I do. Match days, ridiculous opinions if we play terrible. I do like to take a little bit of a joke here and there, so you might see that as well. But if you want to give us a follow, it'll be that handle just there for you. So Nice and easy.
Fantastic. George, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time as always. And you can follow the Watford Way across all social platforms as well. We're here on YouTube, we're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. There's probably more I've forgotten about, but we are across everything at the Watford Way. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's hope we can get a win at home to Derby. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.